How many of you, when you lost something, say your keys, have asked for St. Anthony's intercession? Does anybody remember what the little rhyme of St. Anthony is? Tony, Tony, turn around, something's lost but must be found. Right? I'm sometimes a forgetful person, and so I myself have lit a candle and have St. Anthony to help me at times to find things that I've lost, and very often he is very, very helpful, right? But St. Anthony, an incredible saint in our canon of saints, before I entered seminary here, I actually was discerning with the Franciscans, with the conventual Franciscans. And so I was a postulant, which means still deciding. I was very first stage of discernment with the Franciscans, and I was in Ellicott City, Maryland. And they had this remarkable statue of St. Anthony there. And you can see it on the screen. St. Anthony is the one on the right, and then you'll notice that there's a donkey, right? And you may be wondering, what kind of story is this? St. Anthony. There's so many legends of St. Anthony. He preached to the fish when nobody else wanted to listen to him, and this is another story I want to share with you. So there was a rich lord who disbelieved in the true presence of the Eucharist. And he approached St. Anthony and said, I don't believe that Jesus is truly present in the Eucharist. And so St. Anthony took him up on that challenge, and he said, all right, see that donkey over there? We're going to starve this donkey for a week. And then, at the very end of that week, starving him, we are going to place a bale of hay in front of him, and then on the other side, I will hold the Eucharist and the monstrance, and we'll see where the donkey goes. So that's exactly what they did, and they starved the donkey, that poor donkey, for a week. And at the very end, there was a whole crowd that came to see this spectacle. And what happened was, this donkey didn't go for the bale of hay, but instead knelt in adoration before the Eucharist, and then the rich lord believed. This is a legend of St. Anthony, and you may be asking, why on earth am I sharing this story? Because it's so cool. This is a cool story. And also because it shares with us about the importance of being spiritually fed. Whether this story actually happened or not is debatable. It's a legend. But it shares with us an important fact of the importance of being spiritually fed. And then our whole Catholic history is so rich with stories like this that help us in our own belief, within our own faith. And sometimes in our own lives, in our society, we go for the bale of hay very often. We try to be fed in so many different ways. We try to satisfy a God-sized hole with things that are so small, with maybe its reputation or honor or money, pleasure, power. But these things never satisfy. In the end, you desire more, and you are never satisfied with these things. But God satisfies our longing to overflowing. And that's exactly what our readings are all about today. The very first reading from Isaiah says, all who are thirsty, come to the water. Who is the water? Jesus is the living water. He says, I am the living water. If you drink of the living water, you will never be thirsty again. And then also, in our gospel story today, Jesus feeding the 5,000. And I love how the gospel story begins. He looks upon the crowd, and the Gospel of Matthew says that his heart was moved with pity for them. Jesus loved us with a human heart. He loves us with a human heart. He knows us. He is one of us. And He loves us so much that I love, maybe I'm just a sucker for heart language, but I just love that the Gospel of Matthew uses that. His heart was moved with pity for them. And then Jesus satisfies the 5,000 to overflowing, so much so that there were 12 wicker baskets full just from a few loaves and a few fish. Today, we are being spiritually fed. Every single one of you coming to church today are longing and knowing that you can be spiritually fed here from the Word and from the Eucharist. And this is a beautiful gift that we celebrate today. And something that I think that at some level we have all taken Mass for granted in some way or another, right? But then with the coronavirus, all of a sudden, that was taken away. And you had to watch remotely on your devices. And then all of a sudden, now you're here. We take such beautiful, this is a beautiful gift that we should treasure, being spiritually fed from the Word and from the Eucharist. And so we pray for that grace today to be able to not take the bale of hay, but to be able to turn more and more to the Lord, truly present among us as we encounter Him today.